everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Forza Sim Racing. And today we are Assetto Corsa Competizione multiplayer at Zolder, driving the Jaguar this time around, something a bit different. What you're looking at is my qualifying attempts for this race. This is the first pretty much hot lap that I was trying to do. The Jaguar is all over the place ahead of me. I can't get past because he's just not driving well at all, and he's totally ruined my lap. So go down the inside, we're past him, but yeah, it was rubbish, absolute rubbish. So this is my quickest lap that I did at the circuit. Got a car ahead of us, a Lamborghini. That doesn't come into effect, luckily, which is handy because we're about halfway through the session. And okay, some might say it's not that quick, you know, I could do a better lap time than that. I'm sure you could, to be honest. It's a Jaguar, so it's not the best car to have around here. I'm not massively hot at Zolder, and the setup is good, but I'm sure I could tweak it to make it a lot better. So yeah, there's probably ways I could improve it, but I was happy with this. It put me in, I think, about 8th or 9th for one lap, so can't really complain. We're about halfway through the track now, and the lap. We coming up to this hairpin here. I just don't brake. I brake too early, far too slow into that corner, into that hairpin. But yeah, we're back out. Got just one corner to go. Coming up to this bridge, just braking beforehand. Taking the left and the right, a tiny bit of curbing, but we don't allow the car to run out too much because that seems to upset the acceleration away. And yeah, that sort of puts me, I think, about 8th or 9th. So we are away for a 25-minute race. So yeah, I'd probably pause the video now and go and grab yourself a coffee or something, because we're going to be here a while. If you can hack 25 minutes. I know in YouTube terms people generally start sort of switching off after about sort of 5 minutes. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Passing the Nissan, well, trying to pan the Nissan. He's got it completely wrong, but we've got the pace, and we're trying. Oh, we're getting boxed in here now, so we're going to have some difficulty coming into the chicane. Nissan totally missed his braking, or whether he did it on purpose. That's kind of helped us a bit. The Ferrari very slow at the corner, but we've managed to take that. We are up to 10th, been whacked in the rear by the Ferrari. So we've lost out to the Nissan GTR, back down to 11th. That was, again, whether or not he's got his braking wrong, no idea. It's not exactly the sunniest of days today, so temperature wise it's a bit lower than what I'd normally expect, but we'll see how we go. We've obviously got quite a heavy fuel load, so we're not going to see fast laps straight away, so that's going to happen more towards the end. But it's also about getting back into the track again. I haven't used the track in a number of weeks, so we're just trying to, you know, remember exactly how and where to brake. That corner there, to be honest, probably, I think I end up generally taking that corner in second, the first corner, but it's a bit hit and miss. So 10th we've got, bearing in mind it's multiplayer, so I'm going to be using some people's names, and if I completely misspell them, that's well, that's just tough, really, isn't it? We are behind Bjorn. We'll call him Bjorn in the Nissan GTR. 2 GTRs ahead of us, actually. Bjorn and Alex Kubras, who's ahead of us. Got Ivan behind us in I think it's the Ferrari, who punted us earlier on. But we're keeping pace with these GTRs. In fact, we're gaining on Alex. So both me and Bjorn are gaining on Alex now. He's completely. Oh, he slid that one. So he lost the rear end, managed to gain it back, but he's lost out. But you can see now we're gunning down on a good few cars ahead of us, me and Bjorn. We've got a Lamborghini of Michael Wattier, we'll call him. We'll see how we get on with him. So we're 21 and a half minutes in.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Starting to sort of set our own personal bests as the Nissan runs a bit wide. You'll see down the bottom we've got various people being disqualified for cutting, that kind of thing, which is good. We're happy with that. Just waiting to see if we start getting people with penalties coming into play. But we're up to 9th. Although I'm slightly confused. So we've passed Bjorn. Have we passed? Yeah, we've passed him. But we've run very wide. I've decided to back off and allow him to go past me because I just totally missed my braking there a bit. He has a tendency to lock up into that corner. So still in 10th. But we'll keep pounding on with 20 minutes to go. Starting to get a bit busy ahead of us now. Stefan Bollon, we have just passed, have we? He's okay. So for some reason he's travelling quite slow now. We've managed to all pass him. Still got my eye on Bjorn, trying to work out where we're going to be able to take him. Although the only thing I'd say about the game is there's random smoke that pops out from the bottom of his tyres every so often, and that's not necessarily even in the braking distance or in the braking point, which is a bit strange. So as to where we can finish the race, at the moment it'd be nice to finish top 6. I mean, we've got the pace. The Lamborghini's gone. So we've got Bjorn and we've got a Pedro, we'll call him Pedro Caldera, also ahead of us, in about 4 seconds away. So we've got people who drive through penalties, clearing those out. Again, you're not really sure if those are the cars ahead of you, so you don't know if you're going to be making up positions. Oh, cut the corner completely wrong. We took too much curbing, which has slightly hampered us now. Nissan now up to 2 seconds ahead of us, so we're starting to lose him a bit. Although, to be honest, I kind of feel that I start to make that time back up in certain parts of the racetrack, so I'm not overly concerned. It's sort of staying roughly around the 2 second mark, and we're slowly gaining on Pedro. We've brought it down to 3.5 seconds, so we've got some back markers which are in the pit lane, so we don't have to worry about them, but they're all serving penalties. Running a bit wide into the first corner, but when you've got like a 25-minute race, it's all about pacing yourself. There's no point in being stupid, and there's no point because the race will come to you at some point. If you're consistent, the race will come to you. Other people will make mistakes around you, and you've just got to just battle it out, but just not overdo it. Taking that chicane quite nicely. We're now getting a tiny bit of time creeping back on Bjorn. Pedro's just about hanging in there at 3.5 seconds. Can't take this flat. Just a tiny lift off. Slightly wide, just managed to keep it on the black stuff, but yeah, slightly wide into that corner. Get the brake in a bit too late, so we lost a tiny bit of time on Bjorn. But as I say, those two are not exactly, moving away. So we can see where we're going to try. And, if Bjorn starts interfering with Pedro's race, that will bring me into the equation a bit. That's better into the first corner. Got another disqualification for speeding in the pit lane. So with the Jaguar, it does, despite having a traction control set at 4, it does have a tendency to get a little tail happy. Certainly into the second corner, that sort of long right hand corner, you've really got to feather the throttle a bit, even with traction control on. It's not planted like the BMW, but it's nice and fun to drive. Pedro, we've now got down to about 3 seconds. Those ahead, like Marcio, Lopez, and, well, yeah, he's roughly around the sort of 4 to 5 second mark. And as for anyone sort of from 4th above, we've got like 20 odd seconds to find. That's going to be quite difficult. They've obviously got an incredible amount of pace. So Bjorn's slightly getting away from us, but as I say, we're bringing Pedro into the equation now. Just trying to work out what car he's driving. Not got close enough at the moment. However, we've got a back marker, Bucky Larson, who's coming into play. So is he going to now start hampering other people's efforts? Let's have a look. No, so yeah, it's just staying the same at the moment. Unfortunately, we're just not quite got a drive through for someone else now. So we're 15 minutes to go. We're just holding it out in 8th, which is not exactly where I want it to be. Taking the chicane quite nicely, I thought. Bjorn's now coming back into play again. And it looks to me like... So, Marcio Lopez is now... So, Marcio, Pedro and Bjorn are now 3... We've got 3 of those ahead of us. And shortly, I'd like to think I'll be into that battle shortly. So, this is going to start looking a bit juicy as we get towards the end of the race, hopefully. We're on course at the moment to start getting a new personal best. Looks like we're going to hit the 130s. Where's that going to take us? So we've got it down to a 130.7. Bjorn's now looks like he's slightly getting held up, so that is bringing me back into play a bit. Car behaving well into that corner. As I say, that's the dodgy corner I found. So 3 seconds separates the 4 of us. We've got yellow flag, so we've got a Ferrari off in the chicane there. So we're up to 7th. So that was David in the Ferrari. So we're moved up a bit, but look at the amount. Look what's happening now. We've got down to pretty much the 4 of us are now within 2 seconds of each other. Oh, I've run wide. Haven't lost too much time, but yeah, that was not good. Not good. So we've got dirt on the tyres for the next couple of corners, which we kind of need to get rid of. So I think, looking at it, I think it's a Ferrari of Marcio, the Lamborghini of Pedro, and Bjorn in a Nissan. Halfway through the race, just over 12 minutes to go. But in that last lap alone, I was over well over half a second slower. Just waiting. Oh, there we go. We've got a mistake. Pedro has lost 2 spaces, so that's me and Bjorn. We've gone through, we've passed him. So it's all about, as I say, trying to remain almost as consistent as possible without making mistakes, and you can just kind of start to make inroads into those ahead, and we've managed to do that. Now we've got Morgan, who's also now coming into play, just over 3 seconds down the road. Got a fantastic back marker. Actually, Morgan, I apologise, Morgan's the back marker. He saw us coming and he moved to the right hand side. Those are fantastic people you want to be playing with. Those that either realise they're slow or they've made a mistake and they just get out of your way just to allow those at the front to race, and they don't interfere. You've got to love those types of people. So we've got another back marker that was in the pits, so we don't have to worry about him. It's a beautiful. Get it slightly a bit crossways. So we've got the Lamborghini now of Pedro, kind of push. Okay. So that's, as I said, that's where I tend to get it a bit wrong. I'm giving Pedro a lot of room there, and yeah, he's got through. That's my mistake. Told you the second corner, just started to lose the rear end a bit, and he's through. So that's quite unfortunate. But with 10 minutes to go, we're in 7th. There's a back marker ahead of us. Ray and Stoner. Is he going to start playing into some issues? So it's all suddenly getting a bit confusing because Marcio has completely dropped back. He's now into 8th and we're now up to 6th. So we are trying to get an understanding of how or where Marcio has, where we've managed to pass him. Just outbraked ourselves into that corner. That's not good. I think Pedro might start to pull away from us shortly. He's got it a bit wide. He spun. Oh, he's got it. He's now out. There's no way he's going to be able to gain that back. He completely got that sideways and spun in front of us. And now we've got to find. We're running 5th. We're just over 8 minutes to go. Bjorn's ahead of us in the Nissan GTR by about 2.5 seconds. Wow. Okay, if there's any point you have a discussion or a commentary about someone and they spin out, that was the time. Literally just mentioned his name there and he's totally spun it out on the chicane. We are now up to 4th, and all those that I was discussing ahead, Marcio, Pedro, Bjorn, they've all fallen to the wayside. They've all spun out. And we are now, to be honest, looking at it, we're 4th. We are 6.5 seconds ahead of Bjorn. But if we look at where 3rd is, with Bubby, we just need to wait for the counter and the timing to sort itself out. Because it's saying we are approximately 24 seconds behind 3rd, 2nd and 1st. So this is going to be quite a difficult race now, I would have thought, to get a podium. Unless something drastically happens, we're not certainly going to get a podium. It's whether or not Bjorn's going to come up behind us. So if we average sort of a minute and a half a lap, we're talking about another 4 laps, something like that. So if we look at where we're at, Bjorn is starting to lose touch on us. He's over 7 seconds down behind us. Still got a number of back markers that we're going to start potentially gaining on quite quickly. I'm hoping they're not going to get in the way of this race. I'm really hoping they don't. Well, we get a bit of understeer there. I'm really hoping. We've got a yellow flag. We've got a car at the side of the road. That was a Ferrari. Fantastic driving again by Michael Wattier. Moves over, lets me through. So Ryan Stoner, who's going to be ahead of us. We've got another person also got a penalty in 17th. So he's either going to get disqualified or he's going to take that in the pits. I think he's in the pits. So he basically gets rid of that penalty. But also, so now I'm out by myself. I'm not getting involved in anything. I'm not getting hit or I'm not hitting anyone. It just means that my pace clock on the top right hand corner is just slowly starting to creep up. I'm relatively consistent-ish. I'm not getting into trouble. So it's all going towards hopefully improving everything to do with my pace up on the top right hand corner, which can only be a good thing. So providing I can keep it on the track, no one ends up hitting me. Even if I finish 4th, I'm still a happy chappy. Bjorn's pace is now 8 seconds behind. So with 3.5 minutes to go, take a bit of curbing there. We've got a number of cars ahead of us, all with penalties. 1, 2, 3, at least 4. Lap time's starting to get worse actually. We're now into the 132s, which is not a good sign. I expect it to be quicker with the fuel starting to go down, but tyre wear now starting probably to actually now affect us a bit. The heat starting to really get into the overall grip of the tyre. Bubby, 26 seconds ahead. We're never going to do that, and he's not got any penalties either. So just unfortunately outside. Take the curb in as we go for a little launch across the curb there. Struggling to slow the car down a bit there now, so I think we are starting to struggle with these tyres. We're finally gaining on Rayan ahead of us. I think he's driving a Nissan GTR. To be fair, for someone who's 16, it's taken me a good while for me to gain time over him. So he's obviously just had a bad race. As we pass pretty much most people who have got a penalty. I think we're pretty much on the penultimate lap now. Rear end starting to slide again. Bjorn is 10 seconds behind. So we have managed to keep pace. We have managed to pull out a bit of a gap over Bjorn. So if we did make a mistake, we should have been able to still hold him off. I do wonder if we're actually going to catch Ryan before the end of the race.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
So the leader, we're only halfway through the lap, and the leader is already on his last lap. That goes to show the kind of pace that he was putting in. I don't think the Nissan GTR is going to come into any play with me. But it goes to show that the sort of drop off, I mean, as I say, get the braking a bit wrong again. I'm not pushing it, but Bjorn's now up to, just in one lap, Bjorn's now up to 13 seconds. So this is going to be our last lap. Our fastest or our best lap was a 1:30.7. My last lap was over a second slower. So we're just really not finding the pace anymore. I think the tyres are just not really, they've gone through their best. We're pretty much, as you can see, we've got a spinner. So that was Ryan. Ryan was off into the gravel. And you can see my fuel's gone red down in the display, so we're just running pretty much down to the fumes. So we've got Xander in the BMW. He's moved out the way quite nicely. So we've lapped all the way up to 10th then, which that's not bad going. I'm quite happy with that. As I say, I've improved my rating. 4th isn't bad considering I started. You could say I'm the best of the rest, and yeah, I've been managed to find over 20 seconds on Bjorn. So yeah, so we go through the blue smoke. Tiny bit of a lag there from the computer. Last corner, 25-minute races run. 4th place. There we go, 4th place in the end.
I'll bring the car back.
And yeah, I'm happy with that. Could have done better, but for a Jaguar, that's not too bad. So, thank you for watching this long ass video. And any comments, post them below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified, like on your tablet or your phone, that I've uploaded new videos. I am slightly behind. I need to start uploading more, but I've got a few things on at work that is unfortunately taking up my time. But yeah, thank you for everyone who watches my videos, and until next time, see you soon.